Writing, coding, backflips. We've opened the technology floodgates, and now the future is coming to drown us. There's theories about how it's going to wipe out our jobs, render our skills obsolete, and take over the world, or worse, punish us if we don't help our mechanical overlords reign supreme. We're doomed. Except all these fears are science fiction. It's a great story. It's actually a classic story archetype, man versus machine, and there's a huge incentive for influencers and the media to hype this stuff up. But what's the truth? The truth is AI is coming for your job, but it's also not. Confusing, I know. By the end of this video, it's gonna make perfect sense. To get there, I'm gonna talk about 4 things. How AI will take your job as you know it because you haven't adapted. The power of creative efficiency, and that starts with recognizing what work is doomed to be automated. Which jobs are guaranteed to die? And is it possible to save these if yours is on the list? And the mistake that absolutely will kill your job. Starting with the facts. No, tools like ChatGPT aren't gonna take your job next week. But next year, I mean, the tech only gets better faster. This was AI 5 years ago. And today, what isn't that big of a deal right now will have far more power and knowledge soon, like before you know it. If you're a developer but AI can write great code, who needs you? If you're a writer but AI can write great copy, who needs you? The answer is nobody. But while that sounds terrifying, it shouldn't be, because AI is only a threat to the way you think about your job right now. It doesn't really take your job. It just changes what your job is forever.
Give me 5. Do the same thing. Do the same thing. All right.
For example, if 30% of your day is spent writing tedious emails, that's no longer going to be a thing. AI can do that, freeing you up to do more productive, creative work. If you're an office assistant, but AI can do everything for you, your job may evolve into prompt engineer, learning how to precisely curate your AI requests to create the work for your client or your employer, faster and cheaper than any human alive. Instead of AI replacing you, it's removing the mundane from your job in the short term and assisting you with output in the long term. Another way of putting it, AI will free up your job to only be the elements that a human can do. This is now my 4th video on my 4-part series on AI.
No! God, please, no! No!
Sorry, all good things come to an end. But I spent an entire month focusing on and researching AI. In the beginning, if I'm being honest, I was overwhelmed. I was intimidated. I spent a few weeks pretending like this AI stuff just didn't exist. I was ignoring the news. I was in total denial. Then I finally gave myself a reality check and began learning and learning. The more I learned, the less I worried. The more I became excited about the future. AI will kill jobs. It will, but it doesn't have to kill yours. The fact that you're watching this video right now means you're likely safe as long as you apply what you learned today, because there's a huge shift coming. Everyone within the next few years is going to become a manager. Seriously.
No!
Throughout modern history, people only do the jobs that machines can't. In the beginning, that wasn't a whole lot. Many jobs were terrible, repetitive, or dangerous. There used to be a guy shoveling coal into one of these all day just to keep a factory running. A terrible job. You wouldn't apply for that job. However, I'm sure when that job became obsolete, an entire group of coal shovelers were like, well, what do I do now? This new machine just deleted my job. And then a guy was hired to manage that new machine. It's no different today, except everyone will become the manager. Very soon, if you're keeping up with technology, you'll spend more time managing little AI systems that work for you than doing actual work. I say everyone will become a manager because that's what managers do. They give specific instructions, check in to make sure there's proper progress, and then verify the final result. That's management. What they don't do is the actual work, the details, the minutia. That isn't a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing. As long as you allow your mind to be open to becoming a manager, this is amazing. Adapting to an AI future means you need to start thinking about one thing. What work do I need to stop doing? This single question, if you're being brutally honest with yourself, will skyrocket your productivity, ensure your job security, and make you way more money. Take 30 minutes and write out everything you do in your work, estimating how much time you spend on each week on each thing. Let's say you're a freelance graphic designer. It might look something like this. You then need to go through each category of work and ask yourself 2 important things. Where am I wasting time? And what can AI do faster? design work. Maybe 5 of that 20 hours a week is spent giving clients a rough draft concept for future work. AI image generators are perfect for that kind of work. Here you go, Mr. Client. Here's some playful branding for your gym. And here's a more mature vibe. Which do you like more? Boom. You just saved 4 hours a week. That easy. How about customer service and emails? This can be automated too. Right now, you can set up an automation using Zapier and ChatGPT to read incoming emails, curate professional and helpful responses, and most importantly, save you hours every single week. Our graphic designer just went from 10 hours a week customer service to 4. In total, we removed 25% of their entire workload, 10 hours a week. And not only that, but this is 10 more hours our designer can now spend on actual designs, the thing that makes them money, their entire business. Or they can spend that free time chilling with family. This is amazing. I actually built a template that will help you take the work that you currently do and figure out what you can automate with AI. That'll be linked 100% free in the description of this video. Your number one job right now is to look at the AI tools available and seriously ask yourself, which work should be done by AI and which work should be done by you? Cut out as much of the non-human work as possible. Why? Because your competitors will do this. Your bosses will do this. Beat them to it. I call this creative efficiency. Using AI to become incredibly efficient, outcompeting everyone in your industry. Now we have to be honest with ourselves. Not all jobs are safe. One big criticism I've heard is that AI isn't good enough to replace humans. Let's take programmers. Stack Overflow banned ChatGPT for coding queries because they simply weren't good enough. Yeah, ChatGPT is a general purpose chatbot. It can answer basic coding questions, make some basic code, but it's not perfect. It's not for advanced applications. However, what do you think is going to happen when this tech is repurposed specifically to take on advanced coding problems? You're in big trouble. The same goes for writing, medicine, law, you name it. When AI is focused on those careers, it's gonna make a lot of their workload redundant. Any task where a human has to take in a ton of data or a ton of knowledge and then make complicated decisions, they're done for. That's where AI thrives better than anything else. But does this mean these jobs are gonna die? Does it mean all jobs are gonna die? I don't think so. The bar will simply rise. Us as customers will all expect more. What will happen is a lot of poor competitors or entry-level players in the job market are going to get wiped out by AI. There's no way around it. But specialists who are great at what they do, they're still going to be needed. Now, we do need to talk about something. Architects. I suspect that they're going to be in big trouble, which I don't see many people talking about. Sure, if you're an artist-level architect making those beautiful one-off buildings, you'll be just fine. But everyone else who just designs plain buildings based on large amounts of data, I'd be kind of worried because it's not far-fetched to say that AI will be able to give thousands of designs for a building or home based on specific criteria within a few seconds. So yeah, poor competitors, entry-level players, and almost all architects may be in trouble. Specialists should be okay. Laborers and tradesmen will be okay for quite a while, unless Boston Dynamics starts selling these puppies for $5K a pop. But none of this takes away from the mistake you must avoid. No matter how good you are at your job, your work is gonna change as you know it. This means you need to adjust to this change before it comes and swallows you whole. This is why AI won't kill your job, if you use it.
Trust me.
But failing to utilize creative efficiency with AI means you're simply no longer efficient within the market, and you'll probably lose your job. Don't wait for the future, preempt the future. So when the change comes, you've already adapted years ago. You'll be laughing that you're so far ahead. Failing to do this is one of the biggest mistakes we'll see this decade. Don't let the future drown you. Embrace it and discover the new way your work works. And while you're doing that, subscribe, because the video's over.